Namaste friends, we start chapter 5 now. Karma Sannyas Yoga. Here we go. Arjun Ovach. Arjun spoke. What did he say? He's still confused and asking more questions. Sannyasam karmanam Krishna punar yogam cha shansasi et shreyah etayoho ekam tanme bruhi sunishchitam. Why are you confusing Krishna? You're so confusing. You say sannyasam karmanam Krishna. You talk about sannyas, action, renunciation, sannyas, abandon your actions. Then you punar, again, yogam. You talk about yogam, cha shansasi. Shansasi gives us the word prashansa in Hindi, Sanskrit, Gujarati, Marathi, Indian languages. Prashansa is coming from the root shans. Shans means to appreciate or admire. You admire, appreciate yogam. You talk about abandoning, renouncing your karma. Yat shreyaha, better. Etayoho, from these two, ekam, tell me one. Tanme bruhi, tell me one. Bruhi, tell me. Sunishchitam, make it certain. Make up your mind and tell me one which is better from these two paths. So what does Krishna respond? Shri Bhagavan Uvach, verse 2, chapter 5. Sannyasaha karma yogaha cha nishreyas karau ubhau. Tayostu karma sannyasat karma yogaha vishishyate. So he's saying, Krishna is responding, Sannyasaha karma yogaha cha, both sannyas and karma yoga, path of action, karma yoga, path of sannyas, renunciation. Ubhau, both. Nishreyas karau. Both are good for you, both are beneficent, both are nice, both will take you towards moksha. Tayoho tu karma sannyas. But even from these two, tayoho tu karma sannyasat. Karma sannyasat, karma yoga vishishyate. Karma yoga, action of renunciation, the path of renunciation is inferior to path of action. Karma yoga vishishyate. Better than action, path of renunciation is Karma Yoga Vishishyate, that is special. So go for Karma Yoga, the action, path of action. Verse 3, chapter 5. Gyeya sas nitya sannyasi yo na dveshti na kankshati nirdvandvaha hi mahabaho sukham bandhat pramuchyate. Gyeya, this is knowable, know this. What? That sa nitya sannyasi, he is eternally sannyasi, he is eternally a renunciant, a monastic. Yah na dveshti, one who does not hate anything or anybody, na kankshati, who does not desire anything or anybody, nirdvandvaha, his equanimity is, he practices equanimity, nirdvandvaha, dvandva means polarity, so he's beyond all polarities. He mahabaho, Arjun, another epithet for Arjun, mahabaho, large armed or great armed ones, sukham bandhat pramuchyate, one who is nirdvandva, without polarities, one who does not hate or desire anybody, is sukham bandhat pramuchyate. He is liberated from all bondages. Sukham, easily. Bandhat word, bandh word gives us the English word bond, bondage. And bandh, same root, same meaning, same pronunciation, Indo-European words. Bandh, bond. Now, verse 4th, chapter 5. Sankhya yogau prithak balaha pravadanti na panditaha. Ekam api asthitaha samyak ubhayoho vindate phalam. Sankhya yoga, prithak bala. Sankhya and yoga, path of renunciation, path of yoga, karma yoga, prithak, separate. Balaha, kids. Pravadanti, speak. Kids speak Sankhya and yoga as separate. Na panditaha, the experts, the scholars do not differentiate between path of renunciation or path of action. Ekam api asthitaha samyak, rightly they are both established in one path. Ubhayoho vindati phalam. From both you can obtain the ultimate fruit of liberation, moksha. Sankhya and yoga are different. The childish declare not the wise. Even with one of them practiced correctly, one finds the fruit of both. Verse 5, chapter 5. Yat sankhyahi prapyate sthanam tad yogai api gamyate ekam sankhyam cha yogam cha yah pashyati sa pashyati. One who sees Yoga and Sankhya as one path, he sees alone, he sees the reality. Yet Sankhya hi prapyate sthanam, the station that is obtained by Sankhya, by renunciation, tad yoga api gamyate, by karma yoga also you can reach the same destination. Verse 6. Sannyasastu mahabaho dukkham aptum ayogataha yoga yukto munir brahma na achirena adhigacchati. Renunciation indeed, O Arjun, is difficult to attain without yoga. You have to combine renunciation with karma yoga. If you keep them separate, it's going to be even more difficult. So the sage who is disciplined in yoga yukto munir brahma, Muni, the sage, the monk, the sannyasi, should be yoga yukto, should be karma yogi also. So na acharan, so immediately, quickly he will obtain the ultimate accomplishment of moksha, quickly attains Brahman by combining the path of action and path of renunciation. And the verse 7, yoga yuktaha vishuddhatma vijitatma jitendriyaha sarvabhut atma bhutatma kurvan api nalipyate. Kurvan api nalipyate, coming from Ishavasya Upanishad, very similar line. Even though he is acting, he's performing actions, api nalipyate, but that action does not stick to his soul. He can perform, he can live in the world without any attachment to the world. How? By yoga yukto vishuddhatma, by practicing karma yoga, by vishuddhatma, by keeping his soul purified, vijitatma, by conquering his own soul, jitendriya, by conquering his own senses, sarva bhutatma, by seeing all beings in him and by seeing him in all beings. Basically, again, Advait Vedant philosophy that all the beings in the universe are united in one Brahman. He can attain liberation quickly. He who is devoted to yoga, whose self is purified, whose self is subdued, whose senses are conquered, whose self has become the self of all beings, is not tainted even when acting. So this is the philosophy of Karma Yoga. By performing actions, by being in the world, by living in the world, but by not becoming worldly, one can attain liberation. Verse 8. Naiva kinchit karomiti yukto manyate tattvavit pashyan shunvan sparshan jighran ashnan gachan swapan shwasan. So what Krishna is telling Arjuna is that one who is yuktaha, one who is steadfast in yoga, yukta, yogi, steadfast in yoga, equanimity he is practicing. So that person says, I do not do anything. Thus, steadfast in yoga, the knower of truth should think. Tattvavit, the one who knows tattva, thatness, the ultimate truth. Tattva is ultimate truth. Tattvavit, knower of truth. Manyate, he knows. That, what he knows? That na eva kinchit karomi iti. Karomi, first person singular, I do not do anything. Na eva, nothing. Kinchit, not even a little. Karomi, do I do iti. I don't do anything. What all I don't do? Pashyan, I don't see. Shrunvan, I don't hear. Sparshan, I don't touch. Jighran, I don't breathe, I don't smell. Ashnan, I don't eat. Gachan, I don't go. Swapan, I don't sleep. And Shwasan, I don't even breathe. Then 9th verse, chapter 5. Pralapan, Visrajan, Grihanan, Unmishan, Nimishan, Na api, Indriyani Indriyartheshu Vartant iti Dharyan. That the senses abide in the objects of the senses. Senses do their work according to their nature. I am not doing anything. So what all I don't do? I don't do pralapan. I don't talk, chattering. Visrajan, excretion. Grihanan, grasping anything. Unmishan, to close my eyes. Or nimishan, unmishan, opening eyes. Nimishan, closing eyes. I don't do even that. Indriyani, indriyartheshu. Senses take care of their nature, by their nature. Vartanta iti dharyan. I have considered dharyan, iti, this, vartanta, that this is how they work. This is how they work. They abide, they dwell, they work. The senses work in this fashion. Verse 10, chapter 5, Bhagavad Gita. Brahmani it adhaya karmani sangam tyaktva karoti yaha lipyate na sa papena padma patram ivam bhasa. Padma patram. Padma is lotus, which is the meaning of my name also. Pankaj, Neeraj, Rajiv, Arvind, Ambuj, all these are the meaning words for synonyms for lotus, Kamal. Padma, similarly. Padma Patram. Patra is leaf. So a leaf of lotus, even though it is immersed in water, it is not affected by water. It does not get wet. So that is how some people should live in this world. how they should live. Padma patram iva ambasa. Ambasa in water, Padma patram, leaf of the water. So the leaf does not stick water onto it. So lipyate na sapapena. Even if you perform actions, as long as you consider that I'm not doing all those actions, my senses are performing it by their nature. Brahmani adhaya karmani. My actions are offered to Brahman, offering his actions to Brahman. Brahmani adhaya. Adhaya is to offering, karmani, actions. Sangam tyaktva karoti. Sangam is attachment. Tyaktva, having abandoned, karoti. He or she does. Those actions, when they do without attachment, lipyate na sapapin. That sin, the pap, the evil, negative karma does not get stuck to their soul. So like the leaf of a lotus is not sticking to the leaf of the lotus. Similarly, the actions will not stick to your soul as long as you offer to Brahman. Verse 11, chapter 5, Bhagavad Gita. Kayen manasa buddhya kevalaihi indriyaihi api yoginah karma kurvanti sangam tyaktva atma shuddhaya. Sangam tyaktva is repeated so many times in the Bhagavad Gita, entire Bhagavad Gita. Sangam is attachment, tyaktva. Do not attach to actions, do not attach to senses, do not attach to sense objects. Attachment is to be removed, attachment is to be broken. So kayen by body, manasa by mind, buddhaya by intellect, kevalaihi indriyahi, even by my senses. Yoginah karma kurvanti sangam tyaktva atma shuddhaya. Yoginah karma kurvanti, they do perform actions. Yoginah, the one who are practicing equanimity, the one who are skilled in yoga, karma yogis, they are performing all those actions, but not by body, not by mind, not by intellect, not by senses. They remove their attachment to all these actions, and that is how they purify their soul. So with the body, with the mind, with the intellect, even merely with the senses, the yogins perform actions towards self-purification, having abandoned attachment. Verse 12. Yuktah karma phalam tyaktva shantim apnoti naishtikim ayuktah kamakarena phale sakto nibadhyate. He who is disciplined in yoga. Yuktah, again, yogi. Karma phalam tyaktva, having abandoned the fruits of the actions. Right? Attains steady power. Shantim apnoti naishtikim. Shantim apnoti. He obtains ultimate peace. Naishtikim. Naishtikim is an interesting word which means final, the ultimate, the steady, highest peace he obtains. They obtain. Ayuktaha kam karane. But who are not skilled in yoga, ayuktaha, those who are not practicing equanimity, those who are attached to their actions, ayuktaha, kam karane, because of their desires, phale sakto nibadhyate, bonded, phale, in their fruits of actions. Sakto, attached. They are always attached to the consequences, the fruits, the result of their actions, which is against karma yoga, as we know. Verse 13, chapter 5. Sarva karmani manasa sanyaste sukham vashi navadvare pure dehi na eva kurvanna karayan. Navadvare pure dehi. Very, very interesting analogy we find in Hindu philosophy, many places. Navadvare, 9 gates of our body. Pure Dehi. Pur means a city. Jodhpur, Jaipur, Udaipur, so many cities have still that suffix of Pur. Pur means a city. So Pure Dehi, the embodied one who is residing in our body, has this city of 9 gates. What are those 9 gates? Those 9 gates are 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 nostrils, mouth, and organs of excretion and generation. Those are the 9 gates of our body. So the embodied one, the soul, resides in this body, which is a city of 9 gates, but renouncing all actions with the mind. Sarva karmani manasa, by mind, having abandoned all the actions. Sanyas aste sukham vashi. Aste is an interesting word. Aste, he sits, that embodied one, the soul sits, having abandoned all actions, resides in this city, happily. Vashi, sukham, happily, relaxed. That soul is relaxed in this body of 9 gates, having abandoned all actions. Na eva kurvan, na karyan. The soul neither does the work, nor na karta hai, na karvata hai. Na kurvan, na karyan. Nor acting at all, nor causing action. The soul. Because it has abandoned all attachments. And verse 14. Na kartatvam, na karmani, lokasya srajati prabhu, na karma phala sanyogam, Svabhavastu pravartate, na kartvatvam na karmani. The Lord does not create, the soul does not create. Lokasya srajati prabhu. Prabhu, Lord, is not creating the universe. The Lord does not create either the agency, na kartatvam, or the actions, na karmani, na karma phal sanyogam, or the union of action with the fruit. Nature, on the other hand, svabhavas tu pravartate. Svabhav is nature. Nature, on the other hand, proceeds. Nature takes care of all actions as almost like a self-autopilot mode. Lord is not getting attached to his own actions as he creates the universe. So we should follow in the footsteps of the ultimate truth, ultimate Lord, ultimate Brahman, how it is performing all those actions without attachment. We have to perform our actions in a similar philosophy. Namaste. 15th shlok, 5th chapter. Nadatte kasyachit papam nachaiva sukritam vibhuhu ajnanena avratam gnanam tena muhyanti jantavaha. So Bhagavan Krishna, Bhagavan Yogeshwar Krishna is explaining what happens when we actually renounce the attachment. So what is he saying? Na adatte kasyachit papam na cha eva sukritam vibhuhu. Beautiful word here, vibhuhu. Vibhuhu means omnipresent, omniscient, supreme Brahman. That Brahman does not receive anybody's pap. Na adatte. Adatte means one who receives. Dattam to give, adat to receive. A prefix to any verb in Sanskrit changes the direction of the action. Dat, adat. Ya, aya. Right? And so on. Gam, agam. To go, to come. To give, to receive. Na adatte. Does not receive. Kasyachit. No one's. Papam. No one's papam. Nacha evam sukritam. Sukritam either good work or bad pap. Evil or good. Good or bad actions. Vibhuhu does not receive. Agnanin avratam jnanam. Tena muhyanti jantavaha. Jantavaha is the word for jantu. Jantu is the word for animals. But here Krishna is including humans in creatures, in other animals. So those whose knowledge is covered, ajnanen avratam. Avratam is covering, right? Jnanam, avratam, ajnanen. By ignorance, if your knowledge is covered, ten muhyanti jantava. Those are the animals that are deluded. Muhyanti, moh. Moh means illusion, delusion. Muhyanti. That action of covering of knowledge by ignorance makes everybody deluded. So the translator says it, the Lord does not receive either the evil or the good deeds of anyone. Knowledge is enveloped by ignorance. I said covered, enveloped, same thing. By it, ignorance, people are deluded. 16th verse, 5th chapter. Gnanen tu tad ajnanam yesham nashitam atmanah tesham adityavat jnanam prakashayati tat param. Aditya, sun. Jnanen tu tad ajnanam yesham nashitam atmanam. But for those in whom this ignorance of the self is destroyed by knowledge, jnanen tu tad ajnanam yesham nashitam. Nashitam is different, nashtam is different. Nashtam is kind of perished or destroyed automatically, but nashitam, by one's own action, when ignorance is destroyed, then tesham, for those, adityavat jnanam, knowledge shines like sun, Aditya. Aditya, son of Aditi. Aditi is the goddess of the other gods. Also, sun's mother's name is Aditi. Sun is the son of Aditi. So, Aditya. Aditi, Aditya. Tesham adityavat jnanam prakashayati tat param. Their supreme self shines forth like the sun when ignorance is removed, destroyed by the supreme knowledge. Verse 17th, chapter 5. Tad buddhayas tadatmanas tannishthas tatparayanaha gacchantya apunaravrittim jnana nirdhut kalmashaha. They whose minds are absorbed in that, tad buddhayas, their mind, are absorbed tadatmanas, in that supreme self, whose selves are fixed on that, tat parayana, they are parayan, they are followers of that supreme self. Tannishthas, their nishtha is in that supreme self. Gachanti apunaravrittim. For them, punravritti, that is rebirth, punarjanam, does not take place. They are at the end of their journey of the rebirth cycle. Jnana nirdhut kalmashaha, whose evils or papam, kalmashaha, papam, evils, are shaken off. Nirdhut means shaken off. Dhoot, nirdhoot gives us the Hindi word, Indian popular word dhul for soil or dust. For those, the evil are shaken off by knowledge. Gyan nirdhoot kalmashaha. Whose evils have been shaken off by knowledge, go to the end of rebirth. So rebirth stops for them. Verse 18th. Vidya vinayen sampanne brahmane gavi hastini shuni cha eva shvapake cha panditaha samadarshina. Those are the real scholars. Those are the real jnanis, real pandits. Pandit is not by caste, not by varna, not by birth. Pandit is one who has that supreme knowledge. What knowledge? Samadarshinaha. He or she sees, has this equanimity. He is equanimous person. He sees same. Shuni or Shwan, that is dog. Shopake, dog eater or dog cooker. Translator here says dog cooker. I would say dog eater or people who eat the meat of dog. Dog or dog eater. Brahman or cow. Brahmane, in Brahman. Gavi, cows, cattle. Hastini, elephants. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne, those who are endowed with Vidya and Vinaya, humbled by the supreme knowledge, Vidya Vinayan Sampanne, they are accomplished by the humility of the supreme knowledge, see them all as same. Whether they see a dog, dog eater, elephant, cattle, or Brahman, everybody is same for those who have attained the supreme knowledge. By the way, this word sama must have given the English word same. Sama means same. So again, Indo-European connection might be here. Again, sama and same sound, same etymology, same pronunciation, same meaning. Alright, verse 19th. Iha eva taihi jitah sargah yesham samye sthitam manah nirdosham hi samam brahma tasmat brahmani te sthitaha. Those who are established in Brahman, Brahmani, in Brahma, te sthitaha. Sthitaha comes from the root stha, which might have given us the English term situation, situate, sthitaha. They're situated in Brahman, Brahmani, tasmat te sthitaha. Nirdosham hi samam brahmam. They are established in the sinless, spotless, super pure Brahman. Yesham samye sthitam mana. Those whose mind are established in this equanimity. Iha eva taihi jitah sargah. In this world, in this life, they conquer the rebirth process. Jitah, conquered. Sargah. Sargah here, birth or coming forth. Sargah are conquered. That is, again, the rebirth is conquered. Rebirth process stops for them, those who have this equanimity of seeing everybody as equal. Verse 20. Na prahyashet priyam prapya na udvijet prapya cha apriyam sthir buddhi asammudah brahmavid brahmani sthitah. They are the knower of Brahman, Brahmavid. Brahmani sthitah, and they are established in Brahman. Sthir buddhi, their mind are stable. Again, equanimity. Asammudah, they are not deluded. Sammudah is deluded. Asammudah, they are not deluded. Na udvijet, they do not get affected by prapyacha apriyam. When they receive anything apriyam, unpleasant when they accomplish or when they receive, their minds are not disturbed. Na prahyashet priyam prapya, or if they receive anything very pleasant, they are not overjoyed. They are not excited by pleasant, by happiness. They are not disturbed by unpleasant. They are equanimous and they are established in Brahman. Those are the people that are established in Brahman. One should not rejoice upon attaining what is pleasant, nor should one shudder upon encountering what is unpleasant. With firm intellect, undeluded, knowing Brahman, one is established in Brahman. Verse 21. Bayas parsheshu asaktatma vindati atmani yat sukham sa brahma yoga yuktatma sukham akshayam ashnute. One attains eternal bliss, sukham akshayam, which never perishes, ashnute. They reach that supreme bliss when sa brahma yoga yuktatma, when they are connected with Brahman forever. Brahman yogam, when that happens, vindati atmani yat sukham, they find their ultimate bliss in the self, or commonly translated as soul. but the real translation for Atman should be self, not soul, because soul has other connotations, but established in self, they find that ultimate bliss in self, bhaya sparsheshu asaktatma, from external touch of external forces or external objects, they remain asaktatma. They are unaffected, they are unconnected, unattached with external things. So translator here says, he whose self is unattached to external sensations, who finds happiness in the self, whose self is united with Brahman through yoga, reaches imperishable happiness. So yoga here is karma yoga. Because of the detachment from the consequences or the fruits of actions, one attains that detachment. With that detachment comes equanimity. With equanimity, when they are established in their self, they accomplish the highest bliss. 22nd. Yehi sansparshaja bhoga dukkha yonaya evate adhyantavantah kaunteya nateshu ramate buddha. Excellent words here, excellent use of the word yoni here. Yehi sansparshaja bhoga. The one who enjoys the pleasures of touches of various sense organs. Sansparsh, touch, bhoga, the pleasures. Dukkha yonaya. Yoni can refer to several things. Yoni means origin, yoni also means species, and yoni means genital organs also from feminine anatomy. But here yoni word is, I think, referring to the 8.4 million species, 8.4 million kinds of species that are mentioned in several Indian texts, Hindu, Jain, Buddhist. That number of 8.4 million, 84 lakh yoni, comes very close to the latest scientific research that says 8.7 million species have been found. Scientists have estimated there are around 8.7 million species of plants and animals in existence. However, only around 1.2 million species have been identified and described so far, most of which are insects. So all the knowledge that science has gathered over centuries, we can't even name all the different kinds of species present on planet Earth itself. Forget about cosmos, forget about the universe, forget about solar system or galaxies. Even our own Earth is a mystery for us. So science and scientists and all of us have to be extremely humble and really keep learning from nature, keep learning from Earth, and revere Mother Earth, revere Mother Nature. It's it will remain an unsolved mystery. Anyway, so coming back to our discussion here, dukkha yonaya evata, the species of sorrow or birth or origin in sorrow. Why? Because I spent my sense organs, I spent my time as a human being in enjoying the pleasures of the sense organs. Then what happens? I will be reborn in the species or lifetimes of more and more sorrow. Adyantavantah kaunteya, from beginning to end, because it has beginning and it has end. These limited instant gratification, these limited happiness always has a beginning and an end. Whereas Gita and all the other Indian texts, they are trying to lead us to ultimate bliss, eternal bliss. But the pleasure that we get from sense organs are all limited from beginning to end. Adi anta. Adi means beginning, ant means end. Adyantavantah kaunteya. Kaunteya. So he's talking to Arjun. He's referring to Arjun now with the name Kaunteya, son of Kunti. So Arjun is being referred by his birth. In his birth, in this lifetime, you're a son of Kunti. So I think Krishna is connecting Arjun's birth with the word yoni, our own birth, and how will be stuck in this rebirth of 8.4 million yonis, species, which modern science, like I said, 8.7 million, very close to the latest scientific numbers also. Nateshu ramate buddha. Buddha, the awakened people, do not ramate, do not enjoy, do not play with the sense organs, with the instant gratification, with the limited pleasures of this bodily pleasures are not sufficient for Buddha, for awakened people. So how the translator says, pleasures born of contact indeed are wombs of pain. He's saying wombs of pain. I said origins or lifetimes of pain, right? Yoni is not womb. Yoni is the origin itself or the species itself. not womb. Womb is totally different. Since they have a beginning and an end, they are not eternal. Right? Adi Anta, like I said, Adyantavantaha. The wise man is not content with them. Na teshu ramate buddha. Now Buddha, he is translated as wise man. I would say awakened people. Awakened people do not enjoy sense pleasures. So that completes 22nd verse. Now 23rd verse. Continuing the same theme of Karma Sannyas Yoga, which is the name of this chapter. Shaknoti hi eva yah sodhum prak sharira vimokshanat काम क्रोध उद्भवम वेगम सयुक्तः स सुखी नरः. Now there is clearly masculine word Krishna is used, narah, not nari. So whoever is yuktah, whoever is yogi, karm yogi, kam krodh udbhavam vegam, the urges of kam and krodh, greed and attachment, desires, anger, prak sharir vimokshanat, one who has attained the freedom from these bodily attachments, shaknoti hi eva yasodu. So he who is able to endure here on earth before liberation from the body, vimokshanat, freedom from body, sharir vimokshanat, the agitation that arises from desire and anger, kam krodh udbhavam vegam, is disciplined and he is a happy man. So sa yukta sa sukhi nara, one who can control his urges, bodily urges, anger and so on, greed and so on, can really strive to attain the ultimate bliss, eternal bliss. Now 24th verse. Yo antah sukha antara ramas tathant jyotir eva yah sayogi brahma nirvanam brahma bhutah adhigacchati. One whoever takes pleasure, takes bliss internally, antara ramas. So one who is delighted, relaxed, who is blissful internally because of his internal bliss based on his soulful bliss, not bodily senses, bodily pleasures. Tatha antar jyotir eva, his internal light, the light based on the spiritual enlightenment, right? The word enlightenment also refers to light. Tatha antar jyotir. So whoever delights in antar jyoti, antaratma, sa yogi brahma nirvanam. He is approaching brahma nirvanam. He is yogi, he is really united in his soul, established in his soul, in his self, and brahma bhuta adhigacchati. He attains the ultimate bliss of the brahma nirvana. So what the translator says, he who finds his happiness within, his delight within, and his light within, this yogin attains the bliss of Brahman, becoming Brahman. Brahma bhuta adhigacchati. He becomes Brahman and he attains the bliss of Brahman, brahma nirvana. Now nirvana word comes from Buddhism. Nirvana literally means blowing out, as if a candle has been blown out. The entire existence of body, mind and soul is completely gone and it merges with ultimate infinite vacuum, emptiness. That is Buddhism. Here there is no emptiness, there is Brahman. Brahman is the ultimate spirit, the transcendental ultimate reality that pervades the entire cosmos. So Brahma Nirvana means when a yogi, when a sadhak merges with Brahman, that is his moksha, that is his Brahma Nirvana, not the Buddhist Nirvana. Here Brahma Nirvana merges with Brahman. His existence is blown out, but he is not merging with emptiness, he is merging with the infinite Brahman, which pervades the entire universe. Alright, 25th verse. Labhante Brahma Nirvanam, he attains Brahma Nirvana. Rishaya Kshina Kalmasha, his papas are gone, all the sins and negative karmas are gone. Chinna Dvaidha Yatatmanaha, his dualities are gone. Sarva Bhuta Hite Rataha. Even after attaining Brahma Nirvanam, Moksham, even after all his negative karmas are gone, kshin, decayed, perished, even after all his polarities are gone, all his dualities are gone, because of his ultimately regulated senses, yatatma. Yata word is very interesting. Yata comes from yama. Yama means self-regulation. Yama and niyam are mentioned in Yoga Sutras also. Yata means who is already, he has restrained his sense organs. Yatatmanaha. So that is why, so he's regulated his discipline in his soul, in his self, in his atma. Sarva bhuta hite rata. They remain active in the welfare of all the beings in the universe. Sarva bhuta hite rataha. Even after attaining moksha. So the translator says, the seer whose evils have been destroyed, whose doubts have been cut away, the polarities, whose selves are restrained, yatatmana, who delight in the welfare of all, attains the bliss of Brahman. So to work for the welfare of all beings remains an active duty even after attaining moksha. Almost like the bodhisattva ideal of Buddhism. So those who say that Brahm Satyam Jagat Mithya, those who say that Advait Vedanta teaches that the entire world is an illusion, is a dream, that is not exactly matching with the Gita's message, which says world is not dream. World is reality, because world is also divine, because world is pervaded by the ultimate Brahman, ultimate spiritual transcendental phenomenon, that is Brahman. Because Brahman exists in every particle of the universe, you need to keep working for the welfare of all beings in the universe. You cannot be selfish, you cannot be just worried about your own moksha only. That is what Swami Vivekananda did, that is what Sri Ramakrishna Paramhans taught Swami Vivekananda, and he established this massive network of Ramakrishna Mission across the world, not as an inspiration, not because what he learned from Protestant ethics in America, but because his teacher Sri Ramakrishna taught him these kind of ideas, that you need to work for others. Sarvabhut hite rataha. Extremely important, extremely interesting line. That was verse 25. Now 26. Kam krodha viyuktanam yatinam yat chetasam abhito brahma nirvanam vartate viditatmanam. To those ascetics who have cast aside desire and anger, kam krodh viyuktanam, they have abandoned, they have renounced their kam and krodh, whose thought is controlled. Yatinam. Yatindra is a very important, very interesting, very popular epithet used for Swami Vivekananda also. Yatindra. Yati means one who has self-restraint, once again self-controlled, a sannyasi who is in real terms sannyasi because of self-discipline, self-control, self-regulation. Yata chetasam, those who are again self-restraint, right? So, who are knower of the self. Abhito Brahma Nirvanam. The bliss of Brahman exists everywhere. Vartate viditatmanam. For them, the bliss of Nirvana is everywhere. It's extremely close. Abhito means close, nearby. So it's very close to them because they have controlled their desire, their anger and so on. They are self-regulated and they have known their own self. Viditatmanam. Those who are knowers of the self. Atmanam, self. Viditat, vidit, knower. Alright, now verse 27. Sparshan kritva bahir bayansh chakshuhu cha ev antare bhruvo. Chakshuhu cha ev antare bhruvo. Yes, bhruvoho. Prana panau samau kritva nasa bhihi antara charinau. So how exactly they do self-regulation? The yogic practice, yogic kriyas are explained here. How they do sparshan kritva bahir bayansh. They have expelling outside context. They have stopped outside context. Chakshuhu cha evantare bhruvo. They focus in the middle of their eyebrows. Now this word eyebrows, B-R-O-W-S, eyebrows, it may have come from the Sanskrit word bhruvoha. Bhruvoho means the same thing. Eyebrows. Bhruvo and brow, they sound similar, they mean similar, and they etymologically, because of the Indo-European connection, eyebrows may have been connected with bhruvoho. So they focus in the middle of the eyes. Pranapan samau kritva. Inhalation and exhalation. Pran, apan, oxygen, carbon dioxide. Prana panau samau kritva. They balance their inhalation and exhalation. They control, they restrain their breathing exercises. Nasa bhyantara charinau. Moving within the nostrils, because of with all these pranayams, right? Inhalation, exhalation, and with focus by meditative exercises, focusing between the two eyebrows. That's how they control themselves. That's how they regulate themselves. Now, 28th verse. Yatendriya manobuddhir munir moksha parayanaha vikata ichha bhaya krodho yah sada mukta eva saha. The sage whose highest aim is release, moksha parayana, munihi moksha parayanaha, whose senses, mind and intellect are controlled. Yatendriya manobuddhir. Yatendriya, indriya, senses. Yat, controlled, once again, self-regulated, self-disciplined. Indriyaha, manaha buddhi. Right? From whom desire, fear and anger have departed. Vigata, ichha, bhaya, krodha, or have all departed. They have already naturally fallen off. Sa yada mukta evasa. He is always liberated, always free from all kinds of desires. So that bliss of liberation is for those who are always looking for their moksha, those who have controlled their minds and senses and intellect, and for whom the desires and anger and fear have all departed. These are the characteristics of a true yogi, a true sannyasi, a true yati. Verse 29, chapter 5. Bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarva loka maheshwaram suridam sarva bhutanam gyatva mam shantim richati. Having known me, gyatva mam shantim richati, he reaches peace. Richati is such an interesting word. Richati comes from the root rich. Rich might have given us reach in English. Same sound, same meaning. Richati, approaches. Reach, approaches, to reach somewhere, right? So, what the verse says, Bhoktaram yajna tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram. Krishna is talking about himself. I am the Bhoktaram, I am the enjoyer of all the yajnas that is happening, all the sacrifices, all the offering, all the tapasam, all the austerities that are done by sages, millennia, for all the time, all the space, all the offerings, all the pujas, all the tapas, all the yajna that is being done. I am the ultimate enjoyer of all them. Sarvalok Maheshwaram, I am the Maheshwar, the supreme lord of the entire universe. Sarvalok, supreme lord of all the worlds, all the universe, the entire universe. Suridam Sarva Bhutanam, and I am the friend of all the beings in the universe. Suridam. Suridam comes from the root words rhythm, hriday, heart. So I am the same heart person with all the beings. That is, I feel what others feel. So I'm such a close friend, right? Probably the similar word in Urdu, dildar. Right? Suridam. I share the same heart. I have of the similar heart. Sarva Bhutanam, of all the beings in the universe. Gyatva mam shantim rachati. So such a Lord, when somebody knows, gyatva, having known, they reach the ultimate peace. So that completes our 5th chapter, Karma Sannyas Yoga, the Yoga of Renunciation chapter. We'll start 6th chapter next time. Thank you.